you. I'm Mal, Percybeth Truther and longtime Percy Jackson fan.
And I'm Julie, Percy Jackson newbie and fan of Hazel.
Okay, all right, I love it.
Yeah.
I too am a fan of Hazel, so that makes me very happy. And this is a podcast about Julie reading The Son of Neptune for the first time.
Who thought we'd be here?
Not me.
Not me.
Every day, I'm more and more shocked that you continue to agree to read these books. Though this one's a banger. I am a big fan of this one. So,
I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh my god, it's like 60 pages I have to read right now because I didn't read it all during work. Because usually I'll read at lunch, but we had like a meeting, and then I was like reading it when I got home, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good.
Isn't it?
Big fan of the first 4 chapters.
Something about this one is just more intriguing to me, at least. And it feels less slow.
I think it helps that we know Percy.
I think that's a big help.
And I kind of love the fact that we know more than him right now. Because for a long time, like, and I don't know if we want to maybe revisit this later, like, in the actual discussion, but, like, all we got in the books was, like, his POV. Like, we only knew what he knew.
Right.
And this, because we have all this background, it's kind of fun that, like, we know more than he does at this point. Like, I also hate it because I'm like, no, I want Percy to remember everything. But, like, in a literary sense, I think it's really cool that we know more than the narrator.
Yeah. I also think that helps with the enjoyment of this book. And it also might just be that, like, Percy also feels a little more with it than, like, Jason does. Because I feel like we're going to compare Percy to Jason a lot, I fear. But, like, Jason just feels like he's like, I have no idea what's going on. He'll say something and then be like, well, that could mean nothing. And you're just like, oh my god. But Percy, he's like, it feels like he's taking everything more seriously, you know? So I don't know. All right. Do we want to jump into our chapters?
Let's do it.
Okay, well, if Julie sounds worse now, it's because she's on her phone, not her computer. But here we are.
Apologies, everyone. We are having technical difficulties at my house, and I blame the government, okay?
I mean, I think that's fair. I think we can blame them for most things. All right, so chapter 1. We are back with Percy. Thank God. He's fighting Gorgons, and these Gorgons cannot be killed for long. And so I just personally really like the things that he says that he has done to try to defeat these Gorgons, such as dropping a crate of bowling balls on them and also running them over with a cop car.
A cab. Percy said a cab.
He sure did. And I'm just kind of like, I need some more details on that, because he mentions it again later, like borrowing a cop car. And I'm like, Rick, you cannot drop the most interesting little detail and then not give me more information about Percy stealing a cop car.
Yeah, like, do we remember what happened last time he tried to drive? Like, I need more info.
I mean, I don't think that the Pegasus was his fault, but I would actually kill for a longer, I don't know, give me a short story or something of Percy's time on the run between the Wolf House and Camp Jupiter, because there's just so much in here that I'm like, Percy, what?
Yeah, we're, like, you're just kind of thrown in the deep end here, which I feel like Rick does with, like, all of his books, or at least most of them. And with Percy, it's like when it, like, happened to Jason, like, I don't care about where Jason came from before, but, like, we know Percy, we love Percy, like, give me more. I missed him. I need more.
I missed him so much. I'm like, the next best thing would be, like, my family is reunited, but this is, like, my son, who has been missing for a long time, has returned home.
He's returned home for more.
So, Percy, I mean, it's not a great time for Percy. He has been on the run for days. He is not sleeping. He says that he's been living off of, like, stale bagels, and as a new personal low, he says he had a Jack in the Crack burrito, which, like, that's just slang for Jack in the Box, right?
That's what I thought it was, yeah.
And I'm like, why is that a personal low?
I don't know. Maybe this was around the time where, like, all the Jack in the Box meat was, like, killing people or something.
Is that a thing that happened?
They had, like, a terrible outbreak of, like, either salmonella or E. coli. I don't remember which one it was, but, like, it was bad. I think it ruined their brand.
Oh my god, I do not remember that.
Like, I don't remember when it happened, but, like, I've heard about it. Like, I was watching a documentary about super bacteria and they mentioned it.
Okay, so maybe that's why it's a new personal low?
Yeah.
But I feel like New Yorker Percy Jackson should have more to say about the stale bagels.
Yeah. Like,
Because that's
come on.
not just a stale bagel, that's a stale California bagel.
Yeah.
He's a New Yorker, for God's sake.
Maybe we're supposed to think of like the Jack in the Crack burrito as like a kind of like a Taco Bell burrito.
Okay, but like Taco Bell burritos hit.
Now listen, I will defend Taco Bell with my dying breath because everybody says it gives them diarrhea, and I'm like, what are you ordering from Taco Bell that's making you sick? Like, I've never.
What's wrong with your stomach? Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, I've never gotten sick from anything at Taco Bell. Mind you, I'm a vegetarian now. But, like, I can eat, like, as much Taco Bell as possible and feel fine.
It's cheap and it's good. That's all there is to it.
It's so good.
So, in good news for Percy, I guess, the Gorgons cannot kill him either because he still has the Achilles curse. Thank God. But, you know, not for long. And we'll talk about that more. But as of right now, he still is invulnerable. And so he's in California, as we know, as we have said. But he looks out and sees, like, San Francisco Bay and is like, I know that there is some connection to Annabeth, the only person I can remember from my past. Lover boy of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I know two things. My name is Percy Jackson, and I bagged a baddie, and her name is Annabeth Chase. That's it. That's all he needs to know.
Yeah. What more do you need?
And so every time I read this, I am struck with the question of, is this a, like, Hera left that memory intentionally because she knows that Percy would do whatever it takes to, like, get back to Annabeth? Or is this their connection is so strong that, like, Hera couldn't take it away kind of situation?
I kind of like the second reason better.
I do, I feel like they're both romantic, but I also enjoy the second one, and I feel like it is backed up by two pieces of evidence. Number one being the dedication of this book. I don't know if you read it, but it's dedicated to Rick's wife, and he's like, to Becky, even Hera couldn't make me forget you.
That is adorable.
And compelling evidence.
We love a wife guy.
We do. And Percy Jackson is like the wife guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then I also think, like, the Achilles curse of it all, like, she's literally his mortal tether, so surely it's like a can't, not a Hera. Because also I'm like, does Hera care enough about Percy to, like, know what motivates him? Probably not.
Although, you know, this is like the end of the world scenario, so maybe she did her research.
Maybe.
Like, he's the last hope, so.
So fine, you can keep your memories of your little girlfriend.
Yeah, fine. Gay. But not.
Well, this is pretty straight.
Yeah.
They're the only straights that are allowed, actually.
No, Selena and Beckenworth.
Oh, and Beckendorf.
Beckendorf, not Beckenworth. I need a refresher. I read like half of that refresher and then I was like, I have work to do. I can't do this.
Oh, yeah. I should have probably asked, like, do you remember The Lost Hero? It's been a while.
Like, it did help. I read like half of it and I was like, okay, it's coming back to me. But like, if you quiz me on details, I'll probably remember, but like, I couldn't like spit out the
Right.
book
I mean, all you need to know, Leo catches on fire, Leo is sad boy, Leo's mom is dead. Piper's dad was kidnapped,
Yes.
and Piper was angsting about having to betray her friends. Jason had no idea what was going on, and at the very end it was revealed that Jason is Roman, and Percy's probably at the other Roman camp.
Mm-hmm.
But turns out they were wrong, because it is now June, as we find out in a little bit, and Percy has been asleep for, like, since December, so 6 months.
God, that sounds nice.
Or, well, no, because he said he woke up, like, 2 months ago, so he slept for, like, 4 months.
Yeah.
But it's been 6 months since then. Yeah, anyway, we'll talk more about the timeline, but, like, yeah, it has been a minute. I do sort of enjoy getting to see a little bit more of Percy, like, discovering his powers again, because he's like, well, I learned that water revives me after I strangled a sea monster. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you were just out there strangling a sea monster and didn't know that, like, you had water powers?
He was just in it for the love of the game.
Also, he's a wolf kid now. Because, you know, he's now trained with Lupa, who's taught him to, like, sharpen his senses and follow his instincts or whatever. Like, it feels like we're getting a more feral Percy in the beginning of this book, which is interesting and fun.
First of all, one of the memes that you have to do for this is, you know, those weird, like, wolf, like, ripped wolf, like, memes? Like, I need you to, like, work that in. And my other thing is, like, is Wolf Boy kind of like Horse Girl? Like, are we getting like an archetype here?
Wolf boy son,
Yeah.
horse girl daughter.
Yeah, that's what you got.
That's actually just Percy and Hazel, and then Frank is also there. Because she's a horse girl, canonically. Okay, also, the Gorgons tell him that they can smell that he's the son of a Roman god, and I'm like, check your nose, because no.
Girl, get it together.
He's the son of a Greek god.
Don't disrespect my kid like that.
And it cracks me up that he's like, they keep telling me how much I smell, so I tried, like, rolling in the mud, I tried splashing in creeks, I even tried, like, putting air freshener sticks in my pockets.
It's like weirdo.
I'm like, honestly, in a pinch, it's a good idea, but the idea of a kid just, like, sticking air fresheners in his pocket, because, like, also, he's gotta smell so bad at this point. Like, he has been
On the run
for a while, has not showered. I'm always very stressed with them not showering and being, teenagers, but I'm just, like, imagining a very dirty Percy going into, like, a gas station and picking up an air freshener and just, like, sticking it in his pocket, and you, like, get a whiff of horrible, smelly teenager with, like, just a hint of new car smell as he walks
Yes.
by.
Oh my god.
Also, he gives us, like, a rundown on his supplies. So he has a portable GPS, duct tape, a lighter, super glue, a water bottle, a camping roll, a panda pillow pet, a Swiss Army knife, and also he still has Riptide. And, like, it's a good collection of items. I'm like, I feel like you have what you need, but also I would like to see him use some more of these items. Like, use that lighter, make a flamethrower.
Yeah, let's be resourceful.
Do something crazy.
Okay. Let's be a bit like MacGyver-esque, if you will.
And not to compare Percy to Jason again, but I'm gonna, and I just need everyone to be aware that that's gonna probably continue to happen. Percy has it so much worse than Jason. Jason's like, oh no, I woke up on a bus holding hands with a cute girl, but I don't know who I am, and now I have to fight these storm spirits at the Grand Canyon. Okay. Percy had to be trained by a wolf and impress this wolf so that she didn't eat him, and then he had to make his way across the state of California by himself, fighting monsters that cannot die, on his way to this camp that, like, he doesn't even know where it is. He doesn't know who he is. All he knows is that he has a girlfriend somewhere. Like, this is crazy.
Also, I feel like the campers at Camp Half-Blood are way more welcoming.
Yes. Yes. Like, pun intended, Hera really threw him to the wolves here. We can see who you like more, Hera.
Yeah, what the heck?
So, our Gorgons are Stheno and Uriel.
Yeah.
Which I know how to say that one because Percy is very helpful and says that it rhymes with Muriel. So, Uriel, thank you for that. So they are the sisters of Medusa without the whole turning people to stone bit. They just have, like, snake hair.
Mm-hmm.
They apparently worked at a bargain mart, and Stheno keeps trying to give Percy samples of cheese and wieners. I should have looked it up before this. Are cheese and wieners a real thing?
I have never heard of that in my life.
Okay, I looked it up. It's just coming up with, like, hot dogs with cheese. So I don't think... I was like, is this a brand of something? But no, I don't think so. I think it's just hot dogs with cheese. And so she's trying to give Percy samples of these, and then lets it slip that she has added some of her blood to the cheese and wieners for a quick and painless death.
That biohazard, actually.
Yeah. Yes, that is a biohazard. You should not handle anyone's blood. And so we get the lore drop that blood from the right side of a Gorgon can cure anything, and blood from the left is a deadly poison. So perhaps a surprise tool that will help us later.
Yes.
And so naturally they want to kill him because he killed Medusa, which, like, honestly, I get it. Like, he killed their sister.
Like, I would want to kill him too.
It feels like there's so much less, like, gatekeeping for the plot here in this book because we already know some of the plot just, like, from what we learned in The Lost Hero. So when Percy's, like, they mention their patron or whatever, and Percy's like, who is that? Uriel just is like, well, Gaia, of course. And she's like, and guess what? The armies are marching south, and they're gonna attack at the Feast of Fortune. Like, you've lined out our whole book here. You've given us our deadline. Like, we have to be ready for the attack at the Feast of Fortune. Thank you. Chapter 1. And then I'm a big fan of the move that Percy does here, where he grabs the platter from the cheese and wieners and uses it to show her own reflection that she looks at and goes, ah, Medusa. And then he prays to whatever god oversees stupid sledding tricks and jumps off the side of the hill. Incredible. No notes. It is sort of reminiscent of Jason, like, immediately jumping into the Grand Canyon after Piper.
Yeah.
When she he's like, I don't even know that I can fly, but I'm jumping into the Grand Canyon. Like, Percy's kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing, but here I go on this incredible stuff. So I have given this chapter a silly little title. It is Percy has no idea what's going on, but in a new and different way than usual.
I like it.
Do you have any thoughts or a title for this one?
This is actually the only one I actually really thought about a title. And it was like, I go sledding with cheese and wiener.
Great.
Because I'm like, it has to be ridiculous.
It does, yeah.
That's
well,
Rick.
my title for chapter 2 is about sledding, so I was like, since he does more sledding in chapter 2,
fair.
I was gonna...
That's fair.
Yeah. So, chapter 2. I am a big fan of the way that this chapter starts. And the quote is, "The thing about plummeting downhill at 50 miles an hour on a snack platter, if you realize it's a bad idea when you're halfway down, it's too late." And I have a question for you. Have you seen Christmas Vacation?
No.
Okay. It's like my mom and her sister's like favorite Christmas movie. And there is a scene in which the main character uses like a oil situation on the bottom of his sled to like go faster, and he ends up like going incredibly fast down this hill and like across the highway. And I was like, that's just what I'm picturing as Percy is doing all of this. I'm like, it is actually just the sled scene from Christmas Vacation. Percy doesn't die or get hit by a car, somehow, miraculously, though he does say that his hands are scratched up. How?
Yeah, I don't really get that.
He still has the Achilles curse.
So, does that just protect him from, like, grave injuries? Or what?
I was under the assumption that it protected him from literally everything.
Yeah, maybe Rick forgot that. I don't know.
Like, I think Rick is of the mindset that, like, oh, Percy is about to lose the Achilles curse, like, he doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a weird thing to miss in this moment. I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly didn't really notice that. Because I guess, like, I reasoned it away by thinking, like, oh, like, he can get, like, a little, like, beat up, but nothing that would, like, cause significant damage. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Who knows?
This is the first time I've ever noticed it, but I was like, that, continuity error, question mark? So the Gorgons are still coming. Of course they are. And Percy thinks about just borrowing a car and driving to the ocean. And this is where we get our second mention of him borrowing the cop car. Again, Rick, I implore you, please tell me what happened with the cop car.
Yeah, what? Come on. You can't just dangle that in front of us.
Is Percy wanted by the police again, perhaps?
Yeah.
It's been a while since he's been a wanted criminal, but I would like to see it happen again. And, you know, it's also said that he has destroyed all the cars that he borrowed. Again, Rick, please, give me the fun stuff. Give me just the montage of Percy wrecking a bunch of cars.
Yeah, come on.
So Percy then knows that he's in the right place because he sees a tunnel that is guarded by two kids in armor. Because, you know, in this universe, you know that you're in the right place when you start to see child soldiers. He, like, knows that he'll be safe inside there, but also he sort of wants to run in the opposite direction because he's like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. And so an old hippie-looking woman appears and tells him that this is the entrance to camp. And immediately he's like, yes, Annabeth is from camp. Maybe she's here.
Oh.
And the woman introduces herself as June and says that they named the month after her. Perhaps if Percy was thinking a little more clearly, he could have made this connection, but I also wonder how much about the Roman gods and their names was Percy taught by the wolf.
You're gonna have to make a Juno Sabrina Carpenter, like, connection. Wow. Like, either play the song on the Instagram post, or, like, have you ever tried this one? And it's, like, Percy giving the lady a piggyback ride or something. I need it.
June, aka Juno, offers a choice. He can leave her and make it safely to the ocean, begin a new life, live to a ripe old age, escape a great deal of pain and misery, or he can do a good deed and carry her to camp with him. And so this is a thing that happened in mythology to the original mythical Jason OG, and he had to cross a river, and Hera appeared to him and asked him to carry her across, and he does it, and he loses his shoe on the way. And so his uncle, the king, was like prophesized to be overthrown by someone wearing only one shoe. And so, you know, it's all connected. And just when we meet Jason Grace, Jason G, not Jason OG, he was wearing only one shoe. So we have both Jason and Percy kind of splitting the role of mythological Jason in their introductions to camp, which I think is kind of fun. Because, you know, Annabeth was told to find the guy with only one shoe, and Percy now is carrying Juno across the river. Wow, mythology. And so she says if he does not carry her, then the world will perish and his old life will be destroyed. But if he goes to camp, he'll get his memories back eventually and will also feel pain, misery, and loss, unlike anything he's ever known. But he might be able to save his friends and family.
Like, what the heck?
Uh-huh. Any guesses as to what pain, misery, and loss, unlike he's ever known, could mean?
You know, everybody he knows and loves dying sounds like a pretty terrible thing to happen.
I mean, yeah, I think that's probably the worst thing that could happen to Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
And, you know, in this moment, he thinks of Annabeth, the one thing that he's sure of, and knows that he has to do everything he can to find her. And so he's gonna carry this old woman.
Hell yeah.
So at our door, we have an archer, and then we have a girl. The archer, we find out later, is Frank, and so he shoots one of the Gorgons. Of course, she does not die. And then Hazel, the girl, tells him and Frank to get inside while she holds them off. Frank also curses in Latin, which I feel like sounds so much lamer than, like, I cursed in Greek, you know? Like, it feels nerdier.
Yeah. Latin just feels nerdier than Greek, sorry.
It does, yeah. I do sort of appreciate that Frank lets Hazel kind of do her own thing. Like, there's not this, like, oh, I have to protect her. Like, he's like, no, she's good underground. Like, she's got it. She can handle it. I appreciate that, because I feel like a lot of the times it's like, no, I have to protect the girl. So.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, love that. And Percy's like, where are we? Where are we going? And June tells him, all roads lead there, child. And one of the great Percy lines, he's like, detention? My poor son. I mean, the saying is, all roads lead to Rome. So here we have Rome 2.0. Temples, gardens, statues, they even have a Colosseum. They have a military encampment full of child soldiers, and Percy looks at it and is reminded of home. Which is, like, so ridiculous. And so this is Camp Jupiter. And so they will be safe when they cross the, I don't know if it's the Tiber River or the Tiber River. I'm probably going to say Tiber, because it sounds fancy. The Tiber. Also because Tiber River, like, doesn't sound good to me. So Tiber.
What about Tiber?
Tiber.
Like tiger.
Could be Tiber. I'm going to say Tiber until someone corrects me.
French. Yeah. Sound off in the comments. Actually, don't. Don't be mean. I feel like some of you guys could be mean. Don't perceive us.
Mal, you're a dumbass. Can't believe you don't know how to pronounce the river. And then I have beef with this river because...
Love.
This, like, crossing the river is going to wash away the curse of Achilles. This is devastating to me. This is one of the greatest losses of this series, I think. There is one other thing, not person, we're not going to talk about people, but there's one other thing. Actually, there are two other things that I mourn the same way that I mourn the curse of Achilles. But honestly, like, narratively, it bothers me that we really, like, talked up this curse, and it was, like, a whole big thing, him getting it, and then just, like, a book later, it's like, okay, go through this river, and, like, the curse is gone, bye!
Yeah.
It just, like, it feels anticlimactic, you know?
Yeah.
And also, like, that was a tie to Annabeth. Like, she's no longer his mortal tether. Tomato, tomato, tomato. Boo! I mean, I know, like, she still is, and, like, but, like, come on! The physical manifestation of their relationship to each other? What do you mean it's gone? Anyway, so Percy gets across, puts the old lady down, and I just really like the description that he says here. He says that his senses tingled like he'd been injected with caffeine.
Hell yeah.
That's what I need when I wake up in the morning.
Yes.
Frank, unfortunately, gets sort of grabbed by the Gorgons and lifted up. And so Percy uses the river to make two giant water hands, grab the Gorgons, and then he uses the water and, like, whirlpools to keep them from reforming until all their dust, like, kind of floats down the river. So at the very least, we have kept the insane water powers, even though we don't have the Achilles curse anymore, which, thank God. Because, like, this feels maybe not quite as impressive as, like, when he was fighting Hyperion and, like, made the personal hurricane. I feel like it's similar in scale, at least. Like, this is a very impressive thing that he just did in front of everyone. And he kind of looks around and is like, everyone is staring at me. Yeah, because this was crazy.
Hello?
And so the old woman says his name. And it is interesting that he is called pretty exclusively Percy and not Perseus. Like, I don't know who posted it. I think it was a Tumblr post a long time ago. And credit to that person. I did not come up with this. But I remember seeing a post a long time ago that was like, it would be kind of fascinating if in this book, since the mythological world tends to call him Perseus a lot of the time, like if he had been called Perseus and had just been referred to as Perseus while he had no memories, and then as soon as he gets his memories back, he like starts being called Percy, and so you could see like all the chapters previous to this has said like Perseus, and then when he finally gets his memories back, it's like it switches to Percy. I don't know. I think like that's a fascinating idea. Like I don't know. Just everybody calling him Percy Jackson feels very familiar to me.
Yeah.
And I guess like maybe I should go back to the original series and see just how often like gods are calling him Percy versus Perseus. But I mean, I know like his dad calls him Perseus a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just maybe the Romans just like nicknames.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they kind of do, but they like adding extra titles, it seems.
Yeah.
Like Jupiter Optimus Maximus or whatever the hell, which we'll talk about that later because okay. Anyway, so when the old woman Juno says his name, someone in the crowd clearly recognizes him, and it is a girl, the girl who is clearly in charge because who run the world, girls. She's got a purple cloak. She's got many medals. She rocks. I love her. Just FYI. I'm a Reyna fan. Percy's like, I've never seen her before in my life, but like she seems to know who I am. And so then we finally get the reveal that this is Juno, aka Roman Hera, and everyone kneels except for Percy. So maybe Percy does know 3 things. I am Percy, my girlfriend is Annabeth, and I don't respect any of these gods.
I bow to no one, actually. Thanks.
And so Juno introduces him as the Son of Neptune and says that he's been slumbering for months.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah. Hera, if you're looking for a volunteer for like a little switcheroo like this, I would like to volunteer.
Yeah, put me to bed, please.
Put me to bed for a couple months. It'll be great. Jason went to bed for 2 months. Percy went to bed for like 4.
I'll take 6.
Yeah, I could go for 6, 7. 6, 7? No.
Oh my.
I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
It does stress me out, like, the amount of school that he's missed. Like, Jason clearly doesn't go to school. That's fine, whatever. But, like, Percy has now missed an entire semester of school.
What is Sally thinking right now?
I mean, they know where he is, at least. Vaguely, right? Because I would assume that upon Jason realizing that it was an exchange and Percy's at the other camp, I would assume that Annabeth immediately went and told Sally, like, Percy's at this other Roman camp. We don't know when he'll be back.
But, like, is there no, like, let's go get him, or he has to come back on his own type thing?
Well, I think the problem is they don't know where the Roman camp is.
But doesn't Jason?
I don't think so.
No?
Because Jason's memories weren't all the way back. So I feel like they maybe explained this in The Lost Hero and neither of us remember.
Yeah. Cool.
Like why exactly. Or maybe when our prophecy heroes finally connect, we'll figure out why it took them so long.
Yeah.
But also, like, if they had gone to the Roman camp before this, like, Percy wouldn't have been there.
Right.
So it's all happening according to the time in which it needs to happen, I guess. Doesn't mean I have to like it, though. Also, we get the little detail that Frank picks up 2 little clay flasks, and Percy doesn't know where they came from, but he kind of just pockets them and is like, we'll talk about it later. So, perhaps also a surprise tool that can help us later. Purple Cloak Girl steps forward, and Percy says his memory is totally gone, but he asks, does he know her? And she says no, and he can tell that she's lying, so perhaps more on this later. Do you have any guesses who this girl is, where she came from.
No, I haven't thought about it.
Okay. I will say, I think we gave it away by talking about this character in a previous episode, like from the original book timeline. That was also like a while ago, so
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We're real right now.
So this is Reyna. She's Praetor of the 12th Legion. This is also a title that Jason called himself. And, you know, they also tell us this later that, like, Jason was also Praetor. But so this is, you know, Jason's partner. She wants to take Percy for questioning and then send him to Octavian to consult the auguries? I don't know if that's how you say that, but...
No idea.
And then basically all that to say they're going to determine if he is a new recruit or if he is an enemy to kill. That's chapter 2. A lot of lore there. A lot of introduction.
Yeah.
So the title that I gave this one, and I do like this title. I said, all reckless sledding trips lead to Rome.
I like that.
You know, all roads lead to Rome, all reckless sledding trips lead to Rome. All right, time for chapter 3.
Let's do it.
Chapter 3, also Percy. Also, big fan of the way that this book just goes like 4 chapters in one POV, 4 chapters in the next, 4 chapters in the next, 4 chapters in the next. It made it so much easier for dividing up this book for podcast purposes, and I think that that's how Rick wrote it, because he knew that this podcast was going to exist, and that I was going to be very tired.
He did this for us.
Thank you, Rick. Less work for me. But also, I'm wondering if we're going to end up with, like, really uneven page counts at any point, because...
Yeah.
I usually go through and, like, try to divide it into an equal-ish amount of pages. I haven't even looked at the pages, so who's to say? Anyway, chapter 3. Camp has ghosts, because of course it does.
I was like, this is crazy. This is so weird that they just have these ghosts wandering around.
Yes. And also unicorns, for whatever reason.
Like, where did that come from?
Like, the unicorns are dropped as, like, just sort of a throwaway line, and I'm like, unicorns?
I actually need
What?
more information, please.
Yeah. So, the ghosts are called lairs, I guess. They are house gods, which Percy says are smaller than real gods, but larger than apartment gods. He's so funny.
He really is.
And so basically they are ancestral spirits, I guess. The way that Frank is described physically here takes me out every time, because he is said to have a baby face, a burly frame, and a military haircut, like a toddler who had taken steroids and joined the Marines. What a way to describe a person.
Yeah, really.
And so I'm really going to struggle with the pronunciations in this one, I think, because the Greek mythology of it all feels a lot more familiar to me than, like, the Roman side of things. Like, I didn't ever take Latin in school, so when they're hitting me with all this Latin, I'm like, huh? So one of the lairs calls him a Gracius? I don't know how you would say this, but this is their special slur for Greek people. And so it's basically just used as an insult for someone who's an outsider or, like, an enemy because of the old rivalry between the Greeks and the Romans. Mm-hmm. And this is incredibly funny to me because we have heard nothing about the Romans from the Greek side.
Yeah. It's like, what does that mean? Like, I think about you all the time. I don't think about you at all.
No, it's the, like, I feel sorry for you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think about you at all.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that is exactly what I think of when I think of this, because it's like the Romans are like, we hate the Greeks. The Greeks are terrible. Here's the slur we made up for Greek people. Like, screw the Greeks. We're so much better. And the Greeks are like, who are you?
Yeah, who?
This man showed up a couple months ago, literally has the Roman motto tattooed on his arm, and the Greeks are like, what could this be? I don't know. We don't think about the Romans. Like, just crazy. I'm a big fan of their little sign that's got the arrows with the distances to the different places, like New Rome, Old Rome, Hades, pointing straight down, and also Reno, for whatever reason. What's in Reno?
Divorce capital of the country, baby.
Is it actually?
It is.
Amazing. Okay, so who wants to go get divorced in Reno?
Yo.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, little fun, silly details I feel like that Rick has thrown in here. Like, when they're walking through Camp Jupiter and there's, like, a chariot dealership.
Oh my god, the anti-lock brakes Like, got me.
Yes.
So funny.
It was like no Denari down.
Yeah.
And so Reyna takes him to the big important building, the Principia, and it's got a big SPQR banner. And we get the sense that Hazel and Frank are perhaps not the most popular people at camp, with the way people are like, would be those two who found him. Let him join the 5th cohort. It's full of Greeks and geeks. Not that any of these are like good insults, but, you know, the people are not a fan of Frank and Hazel.
Poor baby.
But Reyna does seem to like Hazel a lot more than Frank, because she asks Hazel for a report, reminds Frank that he is on probatio, and he's caused enough trouble this week. And I can't remember if we find out why Frank is in trouble or not. So it must not be very interesting if I can't remember. But then also, I scrolled forward to do my chapter titles for the next 4, so you could make predictions on them, because it's like 4 Hazel chapters next, and then it's 4 Frank chapters. And so when I got to the end of the next 4, I like read the start of the Frank chapter 9, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe I forgot this like major piece of Frank lore, because I just like don't think about it. So maybe I just like don't think about Frank very much.
Yeah.
And somebody might listen to this and be like, again, Mal, you're a dumbass. Please tell me that I'm a dumbass in the comments. Like, nothing would bring me more joy than for people to tell me that I'm wrong, really and truly. That's sometimes why I say wrong things, so that people will give me attention online.
That's fair.
Reyna has 2 metal dogs, Argentum and Aurum, silver and gold.
I love greyhounds. I think they're so freaking cute. I want one.
I'm a fan of the metal dogs. I think they're a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
So Percy kind of tells Reyna his story about, you know, coming from the wolf house, whatever. But he specifically doesn't tell her his one clear memory, which is Annabeth's face, her blonde hair and gray eyes, the way she laughed, threw her arms around him, and gave him a kiss whenever he did something stupid. She must have kissed me a lot, Percy thought. And I love that he's just kind of like low-key calling himself stupid here.
Yeah.
He's like, I do a lot of dumbass things. She must have kissed me a lot. Then Hazel kind of picks up the story with what happened when Percy arrived, and she calls him brave and heroic, and Percy gets kind of uncomfortable about this and is like, all I did was carry a hippie bag lady. And like, just the disconnect between like what actually happened and the way he views himself. Like, he has such a skewed perception of himself.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It feels very, like, in his head, Percy's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just making things up as I go along. And everyone looking on is like, oh my god, how is he doing that? That's terrifying. He's so powerful. So Reyna also wondered how he's managed to make it to 16 without coming to camp. They also wondered this about Jason, last book. It is also incredibly atypical that the Queen of Olympus would just appear and announce a new recruit. Like, Reyna makes it seem like the gods never show their face at Camp.
Mm-hmm.
And also, apparently, being a son of Neptune is not a good omen. And I'm like, why is it always not a good omen?
Yeah, what the heck?
Because, like, the first thing that Annabeth says after he gets claimed in the first book is, like, oh, this is not good. I thought it was going to be Zeus. Like, everyone is like, oh, Poseidon. Like, everyone's just always disappointed that his father is Poseidon or Neptune or whoever.
Yeah.
And so, basically, the Romans are not a fan because everything about this is weird. Nobody's seen Medusa's sisters in years. The Lairs are all calling him a Greek. He wears weird symbols such as an orange shirt and his necklace, which, you know, has all his camp beads. And it is so incredibly sad to me that it is said that his shirt is so tattered you can't read the words anymore, but he refuses to throw it away and has been, like, washing it in streams and water fountains and putting it back on. It's sad, but it's also, like, the more I think about that, the more I'm like, that's disgusting.
So gross. Get this boy hide, please.
Percy, take a shower, do your laundry.
Yeah.
Let the Camp Half-Blood shirt go, my dear. You can get another one.
Yeah.
And he also looks at his camp beads and is like, I don't know really what these symbols mean. It also makes me sad that he looks at the bead with the Empire State Building and the names, and he's like, I don't recognize any of these names. But he also says that it feels important, like pictures from a family album.
Oh.
Like, this isn't an Amnesia AU fanfic.
Yes.
And I am a sucker for an Amnesia AU. Because I love knowing more than the characters.
Yeah, it's kind of dope.
Because I'm like, I know what those names are on that necklace. I know where your shirt came from. I know what the words used to say.
Mm-hmm.
He also shows them Riptide, and Hazel's like, I've never seen a sword like that before, but Reyna recognizes it as celestial bronze, and they say it's even rarer than imperial gold, which, you know, is what Jason's flip coin sword spear situation he had. Or was it a lance? I can't remember what Jason's coin is because he breaks it, and so it doesn't matter.
It's useless.
Yeah, see, I'm not the person to be asking details about the lost hero because I'm kind of like, I don't know. Also, the tattoos. Hazel and Reyna both have tattoos. All full members of the Legion do. And so they can look at Percy's arms and be like, well, you've never been a part of the Roman Legion because you don't have this tattoo. Because Percy's mother would kill him if he had a tattoo.
Yeah.
And so Reyna's has a sword and a torch and 4 lines. Hazel has a little, like, black glyph thing that's, like, in the book. It looks like it has a head and then, like, curvy arms and then, like, straight arms. And then Jason's had an eagle and 12 lines. So, you know, they're the years of service. And so Jason has been in these trenches since he was, like, 3 years old. Child soldier, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And so Hazel asks if Percy has seen Jason. And in The Lost Hero, Jason does mention both Hazel and Reyna by name as friends from back at the Roman camp. And, you know, you probably don't remember, but he does have a moment where he's like, yeah, there was definitely a girl named Reyna. So,
Isn't that heartbreaking for Piper?
could be complicated. Could be messy.
Jason's a player.
Jason's got a girl at both camps.
It sounds like a euphemism.
Does he, you know, have a girl at both camps? Like a euphemism for being bisexual or something?
Yeah.
He plays for both teams, Camp Jupiter and Camp Half-Blood. And so does Percy. They're actually both bisexual. So, Jason was their other praetor, as I've said, and he disappeared in October. So there was, 2 months between Jason going missing and turning up at Camp Half-Blood. There have been about 6 months between Percy going to sleep and Percy appearing at Camp Jupiter. But also Percy has had 2 months fending for himself in order to get to Camp Jupiter. So again, Percy has had it way worse than Jason. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And so, because of, I don't know why, praetors can only be elected at the Feast of Fortuna, which is in 5 days, or if someone is, like, raised on a shield after a big success in battle.
That's it.
Seems awfully convenient.
Yeah, that's it.
You guys can't have, like, an emergency election, or... Percy also wants to know why they have a feast Fortuna. Wouldn't you like to know, Ocean Boy? But seriously, Fortuna is the goddess of luck. And so the feast is either going to grant the camp really good luck or really bad luck. Percy remembers the Gorgons saying that this is the day they were going to attack camp. And Reyna tells him, don't talk about that outside this room, like you're going to spread panic throughout the camp. And good boy Percy, Mr. Hero, is like, I don't know these people, but they're demigods like me, and I gotta help them out. And also, I think if I don't, the whole world might be destroyed, and that includes my old life, and I gotta find Annabeth.
Mm-hmm. He's gotta find his girl.
And so the last thing in this chapter, Reyna sends him off to find Octavian, and says if Octavian says Percy can live, then maybe they can compare notes on his past. So my title for this one is 2 Dogs Give Percy a Lie Detector Test.
Cute. I like.
Which, and now that I say that, I realize, like, I didn't really talk about the dogs that much at all, except to be like, yeah, I like them, they're cool. But yeah.
Rick does that too. Like, he'll, like, name a chapter something, and then you're like, that was barely in the chapter.
That's true. I mean, the dogs are in the chapter,
yeah.
And they will eat him if he lies, so.
As they should.
Alright, so chapter 4. I am such a fan of Hazel buying him a coffee and a muffin. I just think that's cute.
It's very charming. Like, I like her, as I said before.
I like her so much. I think the girls that Rick introduces this series are really, really interesting. Like, I love Piper, I love Hazel, I love Reyna. That's it. That's all the women.
That's it.
I mean, like, specifically those 3. I'm like, I think they're really wonderful.
Uh-huh.
So, the thing that Percy wants, now that he's eaten and been caffeinated, he really wants to shower. And so Hazel promises him a trip to the Roman baths, which sounds lovely.
It sounds gay.
Well, yes, that too.
Can we be so for real right now?
Fellas, is it gay to take a Roman bath with the other child soldiers in your cohort? What do they call them? Cohorts. Yeah, they're not divided into cabins. They're divided into cohorts. And each cohort has about 40 kids. And Percy's, like, shocked that there are 200 children at camp, but his first year at Camp Half-Blood, there were, like, 200 kids. Like, he says that.
Yeah.
Not all of them are children of the gods. Some of them are children and grandchildren of demigods. And Percy is, like, shocked that sometimes demigods live to be adults here, which is so sad.
I mean, not that he remembers, but, like, Camp Half-Blood is a bunch of kids running around with a goat man in charge of them. Like, what the heck? There's no adults.
A goat man? Do you mean Chiron?
He's not a goat. What is he? A horse. Listen, I pictured him in my head and I knew he wasn't a goat.
Goat just came out.
Yeah.
So Octavian, who they're going to meet, is a descendant of Apollo who claims to have prophecy powers. And I say claims because everyone seems to doubt that he actually does. And Percy asks if the cohorts are divided by godly parent, and Hazel says no, that would be an awful idea because I would be alone. And I was going to be like, who do you think Hazel's parent is? But then, like, it's sort of obvious by the end.
Yeah.
So we then meet Vitellius, who is one of the Lairs, and he asks, does Percy have all his teeth? Can he fight? And does he clean stables? To which Percy says yes, yes, and no. But I seem to remember him cleaning stables in the 4th book, so liar. And he's got a lot to say about, like, Hazel using the wrong sword, and, like, look how far the 5th Legion has fallen. It's very much giving a boomer, like, complaining kids these days.
Yeah.
Hazel then kind of throws Frank under the bus to get Vitellius off their back. She's like, oh, Frank's doing inventory in the armory. And the ghost is like, they have him doing inventory, he's gonna ruin everything. And so he leaves them alone. A great move by Hazel, but if I was Frank, I'd be mad.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I wrote down the exact quote that Hazel says to explain camp, because it's basically the same explanation we get for Camp Half-Blood, but in a slightly different font. So she says the 12th Legion was around for the entire Roman Empire. When Rome fell, a lot of legions just disappeared. We went underground, acting on secret orders from Jupiter himself. Stay alive, recruit demigods and their children, keep Rome going. We've been doing that ever since, moving around to wherever Roman influence was the strongest. The last few centuries, we've been in America. Similar to the, like, the heart of Western civilization situation we got in the first Percy Jackson book.
Yeah.
So Hazel has also only been here since September, which is mere weeks before Jason disappeared.
Yeah.
And so Hazel says she's going to take him to her favorite view in camp. And so she takes him to where you can sort of see everything. And so they have a mini version of, like, the city of Rome, which is where families live. So after 10 years of service to the Legion, you can, like, leave and go to college in the city, get married, have kids, retire. And once again, Percy is like, holy shit, you guys get to be adults?
I don't know. It feels weird to me, though. It feels like a little dystopian that they're just, like, so disconnected from everything.
It does. And I'm like, what kind of adult serves in a child army for 10 years and then is like, okay, time for me to retire and let a new group of kids be the child army?
Like, what are their coping skills like? Are they okay?
If you have adults, why are the adults not the like, why are we not letting kids be kids?
Yeah. They're just like, well, I had to go through it, so you have to go through it too.
Like, should we not want things to be better for our kids?
Isn't that the question? The age-old question.
Like, that's actually, like, I didn't know we would be touching on it so early, but that is my, like, number one gripe with Camp Jupiter and New Rome. I'm like, what the hell kind of adults are okay with the child army running around?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be able to retire and just live my life knowing that literal child soldiers are defending my home. What? That's crazy.
Insanity, actually. Like, what?
It stresses me out. But that is a soapbox that I will return to many times, I'm sure. So everyone be ready for that. So they've been noticing that monsters are harder and harder to kill, and Hazel starts saying something about her brother and death, you know, a little tease. But we're interrupted by an elephant wearing armor that says elephant on the side. Huge fan of this. Where did they get an elephant? So this is Hannibal, and Hannibal has to be included in the war games, otherwise he'll get upset. Percy can't really figure out Hazel. He says she seems so sad and like guilty about something despite being only 13, but she's also just so nice and easygoing. And, you know, I will give you $100 if you can correctly guess Hazel's lore.
Oh my god. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's valid. And that's why I offered you $100 because I'm like, there is no way you're gonna guess what's going on with Hazel.
Yeah.
Actually, like, both Frank and Hazel have kind of crazy lore.
Yeah.
That's also another thing that makes this book good, because you're just like, what? Anyway, be ready for that.
I'm gonna cry over their lore. Is it sad?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't, but I'm generally kind of soulless when I read. We then meet a faun, which is a Roman equivalent of a satyr. So this is Don the Faun. And Don the Faun feels not great to me. But, you know, this came out in, like, 2011. So, Don the Faun is begging for money, and Percy's like, that doesn't seem right. Like, shouldn't he be working for the camp? And Hazel's like, no. The Fauns just kind of hang out. And it makes me really sad that Don's like, oh, Hazel's the best. Everyone else is like, go away, Don. But Hazel's like, please go away, Don. Like, my guy, have some self-respect.
Yeah, come on.
But then I think of, like, Grover, and I'm like, you know, early series Grover absolutely had no self-respect either.
Yeah, he kind of gives off the vibes, doesn't he?
There's also, we have a little moment where he spots something shiny on the ground, and Hazel, like, pushes him out of the way and grabs it before he can, and Percy notes that it looks like a diamond, and then when he tries to ask her about it later, she's like, no, we can't talk about it. Which, you know, is simply one piece of her lore, by the way. But yeah, she's very shaken up by what has happened here.
I feel like the diamond will do something bad. Like, that's why she didn't want Don the Faun touching it or, like, hanging on to it. I feel like it's, like, cursed or something.
Perhaps. So, as we walk, we're passing temples. We pass the temple to Bellona, who is Reyna's mom. We pass a temple to Mars, and just the sight of the building pisses Percy off. That man hates Ares.
And you know what? With a valid reason.
Oh, yeah. So we are headed for the temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus, and I said that we were going to get to this when we got to it, and my hatred for Zeus grows every day. Jupiter Optimus Maximus. You've just kind of made your name Jupiter the Best and the biggest.
There's no man with a bigger ego.
And no man with a smaller... Redacted. Just the name, I'm like, I'm rolling my eyes so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Neptune just has a tiny little, like, shed.
What the hell?
Because the Romans are scared of the sea, babies. The sea is majestic and wonderful, and you don't deserve her.
Yeah.
Also, apparently the last time there was a child of Neptune in the Legion, there was a huge earthquake, possibly the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Not great. Allegedly caused by said child of Neptune. And poor baby Percy pulls out his stale California bagel, places it on this, like, shrine altar thing to his dad, and is like, please help. Tell me what to do. Help me get my memories back. Like, I don't know what's going on. And Hazel kind of watches this and is like, hey, you're one of us now. And Percy feels really weird about being comforted by this, like, 8th grader that he barely knows. And hearing her referred to as an 8th grader is, like, kind of wild to me. I'm like, that's a baby.
Yeah, that's a baby.
Also, once they go into Jupiter's temple, he's got this big old statue where he's holding the Master Bolt. And Percy, like, looks at it and goes, that's not what that looks like. And Hazel's like, what?
That was so good. I love that so much.
He almost formed a thought.
So close. That one brain cell is working overtime, baby.
It's like that's one of my favorite memes. We're talking a lot about memes in this one, but have you seen those videos where people, like, show their dog and they're like, oh, he almost formed a thought, and it's like their dog, like, you know, panting where he looks like he's smiling, and then all of a sudden, like, makes a real serious face and then, like, goes back to panting, and it's like, oh, he almost did it.
Yeah.
That's this moment for Percy. So in the temple, we see a skinny kid in a toga that Percy describes as looking like a scarecrow in a bedsheet. He's got a crazy look in his eye, a knife, and what looks like a dead animal. And turns out it is stuffed, but, like, this is still red flag behavior.
It's psychopath shit.
Somehow, I would feel almost less weird about it if he was actually, like, telling prophecies with real dead animals. Like, there's something unsettling about the stuffed animal part as well, to me.
Yeah.
And maybe that's crazy, but... So, Percy also says that Octavian's eyes glisten with a dark curiosity, like he would gut Percy just as easily as a teddy bear if he thought he could learn something from it. I mean, that's something in and of itself, but then Percy says it reminds him of someone? I'm like, who is he talking about?
I thought he was making a reference to Luke. Like, that he was, like, creeped out.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Like, maybe creeped out isn't the word, but, like, off balance.
Oh, maybe.
Because, like, it's not like he's ever creeped out by Luke, but, like, maybe, like, that underlying feeling of, like, uneasiness is because, like, I don't know. He thinks he's dangerous or something. I don't know.
I didn't even consider Luke. Because like he could learn something from it, had me thinking, like, Annabeth, but then I'm like, that's not right. Because Annabeth wouldn't, like, kill him just to learn something. Like, maybe you're onto something with the Luke bit.
That's what I thought of.
You know what? I'm going with that. But if any of the listeners disagree, tell us we're wrong in the comments.
Yeah.
We love to get attention online.
Don't make me cry, because I will.
I won't. You can't hurt me. Be as mean as you want. People have been meaner to me. Your boos mean nothing to me. Also, Octavian brings up the fact that he's Greek. Again, incredibly funny that we're so obsessed with the Greeks. Meanwhile, Jason was, like, so Roman and everybody's like, could mean nothing. And I love that Percy's first thought is like, don't you have an oracle? Deep down, this man knows that his good friend Rachel Elizabeth Dare could turn this whole place around.
Mm-hmm. Rachel would run this place like the Navy.
Need Rachel to kick Octavian's ass.
Hell yes.
Because one of them actually has prophecy powers.
Yeah.
Just saying. And so Octavian also mentions a book of prophecies, the Sibylline books, and this is lost. Sure, it won't be important later, but he's got, some scraps, and Percy catches that one of them has the start of the new great prophecy, aka the prophecy of the Seven, so that's interesting. But it is actually interesting that for them, like the Romans, this prophecy is thousands of years old, but for the Greeks, it's like 10 months old.
Yeah.
Like, they just heard it for the first time from Rachel, and then, yeah, crazy to me. Octavian then kills Percy's panda pillow pet in cold blood.
Like, what the hell?
Devastating.
Psycho.
I don't mourn this as much as the Achilles curse, but it is in my top 10. But at least the pillow pet died for something, because Percy is allowed to join the Legion. Which makes me a little uncomfortable, because I'm like, Percy... Don't join the real child army.
Yeah.
Like, Camp Half-Blood is just kind of a silly, goofy time. This is this feels serious.
Yeah.
Also, Octavian tries to blackmail Hazel into supporting him for Praetor. He's like, would be a shame if these terrible rumors keep circulating, or if they turned out to be true. I hate him. I'm gonna kill him.
He's a bitch.
But in good news, Hazel's brother is here, and Percy looks at him and is like, this is someone that I feel like I should know. And the brother kind of panics and then plays it real cool and introduces himself as Nico D'Angelo.
Hell yeah.
He's back, baby!
Let's go!
Reading this entire chapter, I was like, is this the one where is Nico here? Is this Nico? Is this Nico? Nico? And then I was like, wait, maybe it happens in the next chapters in Hazel's point of view, because I'm like, I know Hazel is there. And then I was like, is it not gonna happen? And then it happened!
Yay!
It was the cliffhanger in which we leave our episode. Yay! Any thoughts on Nico? Why he's here? What's going on?
I'm very interested on why he looks panicked when he sees Percy. Because I didn't think that they really left on bad terms. Like, Nico just, like... Actually, I don't really remember why he left. But it's not like they, like, fought or anything, right?
No.
He had, like, a plan to save the world, didn't he? He was like, I have a mysterious plan that he wouldn't tell Percy about or something. Is that right?
How did we? He was gonna come, he was gonna, like, stay at camp at the end.
Was he?
Because I think you're thinking of the end of the 4th book, when he tells Percy he has the plan to, like, go to the Styx.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
So yeah, Nico was gonna stay at camp. So it is interesting that here he is
Mm-hmm.
at not the Greek camp.
He didn't say what camp he was gonna be staying at.
Nico is also bisexual. He plays for both teams.
Yeah.
Camp Jupiter and Camp Half-Blood. My title for this one is We Witness a Teddy Bear Massacre.
I was gonna say love, but I don't love that.
Yeah, but it does feel like a good title.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Because it's one that you would look at and be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Any closing thoughts on the first 4 before I give you my chapter titles for the next 4?
Not really, other than, I really enjoyed these. These were good, and I am excited for next week to kind of see where we land, and I'm so intrigued to see how Nico treats Percy.
Ah, the relationship between Nico and Percy.
Mm-hmm.
What a fascinating, fascinating thing. Yeah, okay, so my next 4. All 4 are Hazel chapters. Chapter 5, I have called Nico Gaslights, Gatekeeps, and Girl Bosses.
So, I think Nico plays dumb and pretends he doesn't know who Percy is, which is totally unhelpful in this situation. So, bad, Nico. Bad.
Chapter 6, I have called Hazel Has a War Flashback.
Maybe we get a glimpse into her past and kind of how she got to camp, maybe?
Chapter 7, I have called Percy Joins the Army.
He joins the Legion. Don't love that.
The child soldier becomes even more of a child soldier. You hate to see it. What's going on with all the child soldiers? Anyway. And then chapter 8, I have called We Have Dinner at the Loser Table.
I'm guessing it's similar to, how they have at camp. Instead of them sitting by, cabin or whatever, everybody sits by their cohort except for our lucky trio. And maybe Nico.
Oh, they don't get to sit with the cohort?
No, they're all by themselves. Nobody likes them.
But their whole cohort is losers.
Well,
It's the loser cohort.
yeah, maybe it's just they're the losers of the loser. Even exiled from the loser group.
Bottom of the food chain.
Yeah.
For real, for real. All right, well, I am so excited to be talking about another book. I love to talk about books. And talking about the TV show, I had less fun doing. I think I made up in my head that I was like, I have to do this, and I have to make these episodes come out fast, and I did not have to do that. So I'm just trying to have a good time with this now, and I'm having a better time. Thank you to everyone who asked, hey, have you quit the podcast? No.
No.
I told you. I was like, March, we will be back. But yes, we did not quit. We're here. We're back with a book. And oh boy, is this a good one.
I'm ready to dive in.
I can't wait. That's it from us for today. We will be back next time with 5, 6, 7, and 8. Some more love for our girl Hazel. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you then.
Hi, thanks for listening. As always, you can find us on whatever social media platform you prefer at DemigodDebutPod, or feel free to send us an email to demigoddebut@gmail.com. If you like this podcast, please leave us a rating and review wherever it is you are listening. We'll see you next time. Bye!